Day 3, you guys, energy and focus, and how emotions are zapping your energy and focus, and what you can do about it. So I'm about a minute early, so let me just give you a second of some space for people to pop on who want to come on live, and we're going to jump right in and have an amazing training today. I'm so excited about this topic, by the way. So what I would invite you to do today is let go of any distractions that you have right now. So that's weaving right into the topic of focus, right? We become a directionally focused society where we think we multitask well. The reality is when we multitask, we lose focus. And I can hear some of you saying, no, I'm a great multitasker. There's actually research that shows that to be false. So you lose focus. You lose productivity as well when you are not focused. So put the computer away, disconnect from social media, turn away from the email, and let's generate focus right now. And you notice I use the word generate because you're the generator of your focus. So when you unplug from your distractions, you make a conscious choice to focus on something. That's how you improve your focus muscle. That's one way. So we get to do that right now. So be proud of yourself in the first minute. You've already created more focus, okay? So today, guys, we're talking about emotions. I get lit up about this topic, and I'll share briefly about my experience and how I've got to be an expert on emotions. Like many men and like our society that we're in, I was emotionally dead 13 years ago. I didn't know how to express my emotions, except like most men, which was the emotion of anger. Most of us men have easy access to that emotion. But what about joy? And what about sadness? What about fear and anxiety? A lot of us don't have control or aren't tuned in on how to direct and redirect those emotions. And so I got introduced to an emotional intelligence and personal development training 13 years ago, and it absolutely transformed my life and how I relate to my emotions. And I've been coaching people in that world ever since. This topic lights me up, and it'll light you up too. I'm going to warn you, I may hit a hot button today. I may say something that ruffles your feathers today, okay? And if it does, I want you to know I do it with love. And there's something there for you if you get your feathers ruffled in these next couple of minutes, okay? So it's something to dive into rather than tune out, right? Rather than say, I don't go there. Today we get to go there. So you guys, emotions are something that we all have, right? Fear, anxiety, sadness, joy, anger. We all have those emotions, and we don't have control. Did I say sadness? We don't have control over when they come up. They're going to come up, but what we have control over is what we do with it and how tuned in we are to the emotion. Now, the thing with emotions, they're designed to have a short shelf life, moments. And if we experience our emotions, they just pass right through us and we're able to move on. But most of us don't fully experience our emotions. Therefore, they sit inside of us. They can actually cause disease if we don't process our emotions. And they also will drain our energy and our focus when they go unchecked. And so that's what I want to teach you today, is how to take your power back from your emotions so you can have energy and focus. How cool is that? It's that simple. It's that simple. So I want you to do this. We're going to talk about people today. We're going to talk about relationships, the people in your life. And I want you to bring to mind one person who triggers an emotion inside of you that's not desirable. Anger, that person right there that just popped up in your mind, that's the person we're going to focus on. Stick with that person. I promise it's the right person for you to stick with. Sadness, the person that popped into your mind that brings you sadness, that's the person that we're going to focus on. Don't check out and don't get distracted. Fear, maybe it's your boss, or maybe it's a parent, or maybe it's a spouse, but that's the person that you're going to focus on today. What happens when we have anger, when somebody triggers anger, or when we have sadness? Maybe you have a relationship that you still feel sad about. I certainly have been there. I sat in a state of sadness for 2 years over a relationship before. It was dreadful. So who is it for you that comes up that triggers sadness in you, or anger, or fear, or anxiety? So something that happens to you when you have those emotions is that your mind then creates a story around the emotion. Maybe somebody triggered you. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's your mother. Maybe it's the neighbor. Maybe it's the barista. Maybe it's the guy on the freeway in the car next to you that you just flipped off earlier today, right? But it triggers, you have the emotion, and it triggers a thought. The thought will typically follow the emotion. And if this goes unchecked, we'll make a story up around whatever happened. That's where we start to lose our energy, because the story in our mind will run rampant and it will drain our energy. We'll stay connected to the thought, and suddenly we've lost focus. We forgot what we were doing before, because all we can think about is this idiot, or what's the word that you use, or this asshole, right? Who made you feel angry, or who made you feel sad. That's bullshit. Oh my God. Stick with me, you guys. Nobody has the power to make you feel any certain way. They can trigger the emotion in you. Yes. And you cannot change them. You can't. You don't have control over that. If you try and change them, what will happen to you is you will lose energy and focus. So, what you have control over is how you react, how you interpret what happened, what they did. Because now the emotion is in you. You're angry. It's in you. It's not their problem. Stick with it. Who's the person that's on your mind? That's the perfect person. And it may be scary to think about that person in this way. You may not want to think about it. You got to, though. Because they drain your energy. They don't drain your energy. I shouldn't say that. You allow them to drain your energy because you didn't process the emotion. So now you're pissed off at them, and you've made a story, or you're sad at them, or you're fearful of them, and you've created a story. Your mind, not you, because you're perfect, but your mind will create a story, and your mind will keep you stuck on it. And your mind wants to be right. That's the ego. The ego doesn't want to be wrong, because when the ego's wrong, it views being wrong as death of the ego. So the ego, your ego, my ego, we all have one, will keep us in the story that it created about what happened. And some of you are holding on to emotions and the story that came after the emotion about a person for a year, for a week, since yesterday, for 5 years. Somebody hurt your feelings in high school, and you're still holding on to it, subconsciously or consciously. And every time you see somebody like that person, it triggers anger, sadness. So, your energy is being drained like a leaky tire, like we popped a hole in a balloon. And your focus is shot, because now all you can think about is this story that your mind made up and is fueling. It will fuel it and add stuff to the fire until you process it. Am I hitting a button? I'm sure I am. If you're still with me, I'm hitting a button. So you get to work through that. How you take your power back is you process the emotion. And you also get to distinguish between the story, which is up here. It doesn't actually exist, only in here. And you get to separate the emotion that you had and the story that your mind made up. Put the story aside. You can acknowledge the story. You can acknowledge the thoughts you had and are having. And you get to process the emotion. And it could be something as simple as, oh my God, that pissed me off. But that also takes vulnerability and courage, because we don't live in a society where we really are encouraged to express our emotions. So you could say it out loud to the person. You could walk away and write it down. You could say it out loud. I do voice notes myself as a journal. I have like a voice note journal. It's easier for me than writing. The thing is, though, you've got to get it out, and you've got to be honest about what you feel. You made me sad. Well, remember, they didn't make you sad. Your reaction to what happened made you sad. So I'm sad. That's what you get to acknowledge in yourself. I'm sad. I'm experiencing sadness. And then what's in the sadness? So now you get to go into what made you sad. What caused the anxiety? What caused the fear, the anger? You just get to go into it, not with judgment. You're not wrong. You don't get to make the other person wrong, but you get to go in it and process it and work through it. You know, this person didn't, Candace uses these examples all the time about the dishes, right? So I'll use that example to keep it funny and lighthearted, but also real. You didn't do the dishes. You didn't do the dishes. If that pissed you off that your significant other didn't do the dishes, you're both paying the price, because now you're pissed at them. They feel it. They feel uncomfortable. They'll probably retaliate by being pissed at you about not cleaning the bathtub, right? But now you're holding on to that, and you're going to be right about it. You're going to make yourself right by saying, you pissed me off. But so you got to work through that. You just got to work through it. You know, they're not wrong for not doing the dishes. You just get to have that conversation that this made me feel a certain way, and experience it, let it out, work through it. The last thing I want to say about this, I've already gone over, holy moly, I'm not being my word with time, is that you cannot play the victim card and expect to get your power back and your energy and focus back. You can't do it. Victim, which we all do it, when we show up as a victim, it's the lowest possible vibration that we can have. On the flip side of that, being responsible is the highest vibration that we can have. So you can't, if you find yourself blaming someone else for your emotion, then you know you're in victim mode. You're showing up as a victim, okay? You're not a victim. You're a brilliant human. But in that moment, you're showing up as a victim when you blame someone else for your emotions, because they're yours. So when you're in victim, know your energy and focus is going down. How to get out of that is shift into responsibility. Shift into responsibility. You can be responsible for how you feel, rather than blaming someone for what they did that then triggered an emotion. Instead, wow, that made me feel angry. I feel angry. Then you own it rather than putting it on them, putting it on someone else. COVID is another great example. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole right now because I'm already over time. So find a way to be responsible. Responsible will lift you up. It will energize you. It will refocus you and give you your power back so that you can do what you really want to do, which is be productive, which is be energized, which is the one emotion we haven't been talking about, joyful. That gives you energy, and joyful gives you power. Joyful gives you focus. So shift out of the negative ones and find joy. Be joyful. I can be joyful. You can be joyful just like that. Find joy. Be joyful. So there you have it, guys. Wrapping it up. Own your emotions, or they will own you. They're like a leaky tire when you're in anger, sadness, frustration, anxiety, fear. You lose energy, you lose focus. Find the responsible version of the story of what happened and be responsible. Stand responsible, not fake responsibility, like really be responsible. Your energy goes up, your focus goes up, and you're back to feeling great. So, I don't know if anyone is on live. I don't see anyone. Let me pull this up in the Facebook group. If you're watching this on a replay, then I encourage you to ask some questions and comment. Because you guys, transformation, this is about transformation, and this is about transforming your relationship with your emotions. When you do that, that's transformation. But to do that, it doesn't happen inside of you. It cannot happen inside of you. Transformation doesn't exist inside of you. It has to come out. Has to come out. This is what I mean. I mean, you can't hold it in. Transformation is an inside job, yes, but you cannot hold it in. You've got to let it out. You've got to speak, put words, use your body to express the emotions and to process your thoughts. That's transformation. So I will come over to the Facebook group and just see if there are any questions, because it doesn't show up on my phone for some reason. Facebook Live. There I am. It's a little bit of delay so I can see myself talking. How funny is that? All right, it doesn't look like I have any questions, so I'll just kind of stick with it and talk about a few more things that are on my mind about what I just said with processing emotions. It's like we're at 17 minutes minus 1, 16. One of the things that we've had people do, I've had clients do over the years, I've coached people one-on-one and in group settings with world-class leaders on this subject, is I had someone come to me who really wanted to work through some pain that they hadn't processed yet. In fact, that they didn't realize that they had over somebody in their life, somebody that hurt them very badly. This person grew up, didn't know how badly it was affecting them, and one day realized it. One day realized what happened because they had suppressed the memory. They reaccessed the memory, because we do that. We suppress memory. We forget things intentionally. We bury them so deep. The thing is, they never leave us, though. They're deep in our body, in our mind, in our system somewhere. That can actually cause cancer. And what I had this person do, once this person realized what had happened and what the person in this person's life, I'm purposely saying this person, so I don't say he or she, what this person had done to this person. It was horrible. And it was one thing to talk about it with me on a phone, but what I had the person do was find a spot at the beach, which was secluded. I knew a place, and so the person went to the beach by theirself at a time when no one would be there, super secluded. And what they did was, and this is a successful person, I'm talking about a highly successful person. I had them pick up rocks and say the things that they wanted to say to the person that hurt them. Fuck you. How could you do this to me? You asshole. Whatever. And pick the rocks up and throw them into the ocean. So as they threw the emotion, and they had an experience of releasing the words, the thoughts, the experience of what happened. And it was powerful. And that was a transformational experience. And the reason I say that is, whatever came up to you when I said the person in your life at the beginning of this, someone came up to you in your mind, and you know who that person is. You might want to shy away from it. Your mind, to protect you, may take you other places. So bring it back. That person is coming up because you're giving them your energy and your focus, which is taking energy and focus away from you being the best version of you that you can be. And so you get to express whatever it is. Whatever it is, it could be something so simple like somebody flips you off on the freeway. If that pisses you off, say it out loud. And I don't mean flip them off back. I just mean, wow, that really frustrated me, or whatever. If somebody yelled at you and you felt sad, if somebody cheated on you and you felt sad and that now you can't trust them anymore, you get to just say it out loud. Maybe you say it to them, maybe you don't. Maybe you say it to somebody else, but you get to own the feelings and let them go so that they don't own you. So, you guys, this is one powerful way. I'll wrap it up by saying Harvard did a massive study on emotional intelligence. It was published in Times Magazine. This was probably 10 years ago or so. And what they found was that people who are emotionally intelligent, who dive into this training that I just did for you, which is far more vast than 20 minutes, but people that dive in and really learn how to be emotionally intelligent, relate to their emotions, relate with others, it's the number one determinant in your success on this lifetime on this planet. So I hope that supports you. Please comment. Let me know what came up to you. Start to practice and use this space as a practicing platform by sharing what came up to you. Who's the person? Share vulnerably. All right? And whatever questions I can answer for you, I love this topic. It's a game changer. And that's what we're here for, is to give you more energy, really to show you how to generate more energy and more focus so that you can be more productive, more joyful, happy, and really live a life that you're proud of. And a big component of that is energy and focus. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day.